That's one of my all-time favorite lines. If you want to check that movie out, it's streaming right now on IMDb, which you can access through IMDb or Amazon Prime. It's also on Tubi, Vudu, and Pluto TV.
And that's a good cast. Kate Bosworth, Dylan McDermott, Josh Lucas, Lisa Kudrow.
Yeah, Lisa Kudrow plays a character not like what we have seen with Friends. She plays a very dark but forgiving character. She's phenomenal in it.
Oh, geez Louise. Also, Christina Applegate and, like you said, Ted Levine, Eric Bogosian, who you know, Michael Pitt, wow, and Alexis Dezena. She's been in a ton of stuff. That's a pretty stacked movie. Yeah, that's a stacked cast.
If you haven't seen it, strongly recommend it. It's a great supporting movie to Detroit Rock City. If you're into the 70s nostalgia and also crime dramas in general, this is a great storyline. Great soundtrack too. It opens up with T-Rex's 20th Century Boy.
Hey now. Well, that's a good song.
That's awesome, man. That song's like a punch in the face. And that song's also in Detroit Rock City.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I believe that's whenever they're at the high school, whenever the kids are smoking cigarettes and Edward Hawk, played by Edward Furlong, says, "Why don't they tell these girls disco sucks?" She's like, "Don't stare too hard, boys. Your eyes might fall out."
I love that they just yell at them. And I like that they're in the little mud area smoking cigarettes before school.
Yeah. It really adds to it. I remember then they used to have smoking sections in high school. They had that even in my high school. It was off campus, but that's where everybody ran to go smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, if you're 18, you guess you can't be stopped.
Yeah. And I mean, of course, nowadays they don't really do that. They kind of crack down people. The cigarette smoking has definitely drastically dropped over the decades, which I'm okay with that. My other movie that I recommend is a movie that came out in 2009, not so much in the 70s, but it takes place more in the 60s, and it's based on the real Radio Caroline, which was a real ship that would go off into the ocean and broadcast rock music at a time when rock music was not being played on the radio. And I'm, of course, talking about the Philip Seymour Hoffman starring Pirate Radio.
Oh, yeah, I love that movie.
It's a great film. He plays a character as the Count, who's kind of like a shock jock, I guess you'd call him, a little bit. But it is the early days of things of that nature. He plays the character who gets a ship, goes into the ocean, broadcasts rock music so that people can listen to it. And this is a lost art that's really hasn't happened, an art that's been lost over the years, where there were real renegades out in our time that would do things such as they would get a ship, go out into the ocean where they could not be arrested and broadcast music that was not being played on the radio. And they had a lot of pressure from the government in England to play classical music only. They don't want this rock and roll playing on the radio. This is bad for our youth. So what did they do? They did it themselves. And I love things like that. So I say this is a great follow-up to Detroit Rock City as well.
And it has Bill Nighy in it. It doesn't get any better than that.
He's great in everything he touches. I love that guy. He's in everything.
Rhys Ifans, Kenneth Branagh, Nick Frost. I love the cast of this movie.
Kenneth Branagh. I recently started getting a fondness for Kenneth Branagh. I think that man is amazing. And I really feel bad that I didn't get into him earlier.
Yeah, he's been crushed. Like, we used to watch, like, Hamlet, his adaptation of that was really good. I mean, the dude can act. He's
amazing. He's really good at directing. Although you can tell whenever he's directing the camera because he gets a lot of close-ups on himself.
Closer on me. What?
I mean, I loved what he did with Murder on the Orient Express, but I tell you what, if he could bring that camera back about a good 2 feet, I'd be okay.
What's what happens when you shoot on a train, Chris Kelly? You need to move that camera back. Where? No, I'm joking. You can move everything.
What do you think this is, a film set? We're on a real train. What? Authenticity.
Yeah. Oh, brother. Chris Kelly, when you shoot movies on a train. Well, you could do the long lens.
Those are real snakes and real trains.
Yep.
They could do a long lens, but I really I'm not dogging Murder on the Orient Express. I love that movie. I really like that one a lot. I loved everything about it. I think it was shot beautifully. I really dug his mustache. Although critics were kind of split on the mustache, but I did like how Kenneth Branagh paid tribute to Agatha Christie, how she really wanted that mustache to look. So I really applaud him for that.
I mean, he stuck with it. I think he's sort of a purist, so he went for it and did it. And it was a massive hit. Now he's doing Murder on the Nile with another massive cast.
I love that. I'm really happy that the films that are murder mysteries are making a comeback. I mean, Knives Out, which I thought was dynamite. I really like how those are making a comeback now, and I really look forward to the future when we are going to have more murder mystery type of movies. I don't want them to go crazy about it, like bringing back a whole nother Murder, She Wrote, Miss Marple. But I would enjoy to see a new murder mystery once a year. I'd be okay with it.
Chris Kelly solves murders. The show.
One man, one buckle. One love gun.
I believe you, but my belt buckle doesn't. Oh, that sounds terrible.
You could tell the people that I beat up because each one of them would have an imprint on their forehead of my buckle.
When people are lying, it turns blue. And you don't tell anybody either. Did you see Chris Kelly's belt buckle?
Okay. Did you see that his belt buckle told me I was lying? I haven't told the truth since day one. You throw my ass in jail. You know what?
There's no way that holds up in court. A man can tell lies, but it's not legal.
One man can lie, but two buckles can't tell the truth.
He's always right, but courts always think he's wrong. We can't use that in court, Chris Kelly. Damn it.
Yeah, you told that to the chief. You know, he's the one who said it. What do you mean?
I told that to the chief.
The chief shows up. He's like, hey, Kelly, I told you last week that buckle ain't got to hold up in court. You really got to...
Chris Kelly, enough of this. Oh, man.
Look out for the buckle. Coming at you.
Dirty Hoff and Belt Buckle Kelly should team up.
Ooh, you know, I've told some of my friends about the Dirty Hoffmeyer, and I'm really wanting to get this thing made. I'm not going to lie to you. That opening shot alone. Now, for the audience out there that doesn't know about this, Mark has a wonderful character that he created called the Dirty Hoffmeyer, and the opening of this movie is phenomenal, and it needs to be made. I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there.
Wait, $20, horseradish. Oh!
I've been saying that forever. I knew it.
There's Megan and I quote something all the time where I'm talking about the drugs. They roll down and they get into the system and they get into the water and they go into little baby turtles. And so now Megan and I talk about the baby turtles that are getting infected.
But no one's thinking about the turtles.
Oh, man. And there's another line. He's like, have you been smoking? Have you been doing crack? Yeah. Have you been snorting cocaine? Yeah. Have you been smoking oregano? Yeah. I'm like, no, you haven't. And the guy's like, if I'd had some, I'd smoke it. I'm laughing at my own jokes. This is bad. All right, let's get out of here, Chris Kelly.
Man, thanks for having me on, man.
Oh, this is good. I'm looking forward to role models.
Yes.
All right, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Chris Lovegun Kelly. Chris Belt Buckle Kelly. This is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week. He's lying. It turned blue.